Everyday news on Prince Miller Entertainment TV. Today is the 25th of November 2022. Remember to like, share, comment and follow. And so guys, here's the latest news. Zimbabwe has been invited to the upcoming United States Africa Leaders Summit in Washington despite concern over dire authoritarian by the Harare government, which has seen a crackdown against political dissent and jailing of opponents. Although the country remains under the US sanctions, President Joe Biden has invited Zimbabwe to the December 13 and 15 summit in Washington, which is expected to be attended by dozens of African leaders. President Emerson Mnangagwa, who is banned from traveling to the US, is expected to be represented by Foreign Affairs Minister Frederick Shaw, who was Zimbabwe's ambassador to Washington before his cabinet appointment. Another invitation has, however, drawn criticism, with the Biden administration accused of rewarding an increasingly autocratic regime whose spy agents earlier this year chased down senior US congressional staffers across the streets of the capital. When you partner with bad actors, non-democratic leaders, you are sending a clear message to the people in those countries and giving these leaders more power and legitimacy on the world stage, Nicole Windesham of the Human Rights Watch advocacy organization told Foreign Policy magazine. However, the summit is coming at a time when the war in Ukraine and the consequent political and economic repercussions have created a new geopolitical order. Analysts also said Washington was trying to avoid a repeat of the diplomatic embarrassment experienced earlier this year when the leaders of Mexico, El Salvador, Honduras and Guatemala refused to attend the US-hosted summit of the Americas after President Biden refused to send invitations to three autocrats in the region. For the African summit, the Biden administration simply invited all countries in good standing with the African Union. It avoids any offense on the African side, but on the US side, it looks like a betrayal of our values and our policies, said Cameron Wilson, a former US diplomat and senior associate for the African program at the Center of Strategic and International Studies think tank. We took an approach to invitations to the US-Africa Leaders Summit that will enable wide participation in dialogue on shared global priorities. A spokesperson for the White House National Security Council said this summit is an important opportunity to engage with African leaders on shared commitments on respecting human rights and strengthening democratic institutions. As we have in other settings, we will discuss issues of concern in areas where we have disagreements. Meanwhile, US senators have since demanded that the Biden administration takes action after a Senate Foreign Committee officials were involved in a movie-style car chase in Harare with suspected agents of the country's CIO. The officials were reportedly on an official visit to Harare organized with the US Embassy to meet human rights advocates and civil society leaders to hear firsthand the deteriorating political situation in the country. The incident incites US Senator Robert Mendez, the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, who sent a letter to President Joe Biden informing him of the harassment and the car chase his staffers experienced. In the letter, he urged Biden to step up US attention on the dire repressive political atmosphere in Zimbabwe and boost support for the country's increasingly embattled civil society organizations and pro-democracy activists. And so guys, that's the latest here. Yes, the US African Summit happening December 13 to 15, and Ambassador Frederick Shaw will be representing Zimbabwe as Mnangagwa asingabvumidzweka kuti vaende ku America. And so we're going to be keeping you guys in the loop here on daily news, breaking news, everyday news on Prince Miller Entertainment TV. Tengitisipo last year pakabuda list but through official visit by South African President Cyril Ramaphosa to the US earlier this year, takaona va Joe Biden vachichinja pfungwa dzavo vachiti aiwa Zimbabwe needs to be part of this whole situation. And so Frederick Shaw will be representing Zimbabwe at this year's US Africa Leader Summit. And but pane dzimwe nyika dzinenge 4 dzisina kushedzwa ikoko, which includes Sudan, Mali, neimwe nyika dzimwe 2 dzimwe avapo ipapo because ndoko akaitika makuru akaitika last year and earlier this year again. And saka kuti izo nyika idzodzo hadzikwanisa kunge dziripo African leaders who are coming to the US. So this is our daily news, breaking news, everyday news on Prince Miller Entertainment TV. Thank you for listening and watching. Remember to like, share, comment, and follow. Bless up.